But anyway,
Yeah.
we want to talk about my graphic or
Yeah,
like the concept. I mean, whatever.
Go,
I think I have a meeting, but
okay,
I
yeah,
can always postpone it.
Name's Jeff Kendall. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana.
So the graphic concept came from, and I'm going to try and remember this because I was 18 years old, so there's not going to be a ton of depth in this thing. I had a couple different concepts before even this one. I was already inspired and, maybe frightened, but I had this fascination with nuclear war. And it was really based out of fear more than anything, right? It seemed like that was something that could actually happen.
The biblical prophecy says that Armageddon will be where the forces of good and evil fight the final great battle.
A movie came out, it was called The Day After. Made for TV movie. I think it was like, up until 2009, the most watched TV movie, right? And it was all about nuclear warfare. That fascinated me. I was scared to shit, scared to death of that, right? Another movie came out in 1983. This is quite a topic back then. It was War Games. It was with Matthew Broderick. So I went into a bookstore. We'd come across this book, this friend of mine, that had kind of like computer hands on it, holding the world. I don't remember exactly what it was, but hey, he's like, why don't you throw that on there? I was like, oh yeah, it's like War Games. That's computers controlling the bombs. And kind of went from there. Jim Phillips sent me like the first graphics via mail. They taped like 3 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper with kind of a rough idea. And at that time, I wasn't really thinking about it. I was like, I'm getting a skateboard graphic, and like I'm turning pro. Yeah, let's do it. And it was amazing artwork, but I wasn't about to go back and forth because I'm like, this is happening. Let's just let's do this. So, I was obviously very appreciative to have someone of his caliber drawing my graphics. Because I was living in Indianapolis, he out here in Santa Cruz was made it a little bit more challenging, I think, than being able to go into the studio with him and kind of see what he's doing and throw my 2 cents in that way. It was telephone and mailing of roughly. There was no fax machines, there were no computers, obviously, so I had less input, but I was fine with that. I trusted him. It was great. I mean, he was a legend then. He's much more of a legend now. I've got asked that a couple of times before, like as far as my favorite graphic, and it's first one, it's hard to beat that. The artwork itself would probably be one of my favorites anyway. I really like the graffiti graphic too, but it's my first one. So that was, as far as my personal faves, it's that one. It's the end of the world, yeah.
Any memorable sessions on that board?
Oh God. Like I said, these things stuck around for 1.5 years at least. I probably rode that graphic for almost 2 years. I would say probably one that comes to mind was my first pro contest. And it might have been the first time I rode that graphic. I was really self-conscious. I didn't want to ride my board until the deed was done and I was officially in the pro ranks, right? I think I got second place. I just remember it stood out. This is my first pro contest, and I'm legitimately riding my own graphic, this one here, so. I did a lot of inverts, I'll tell you that. So there's definitely memorable tricks being inverts. There's a poster that we did years ago, Santa Cruz poster. I did a fakey ollie nose grab, kicked off back foot, dog pisser, I forget what we called that. I think it was an inset shot. I guess I should know that, it's right fucking up here. And I walk past it every day, but I don't stare at it. Wasn't a lot of video work, I spent a lot of time traveling the world, contests and demos. A lot of bike shops. Well, yeah, skateboarding was still new. There wasn't a lot of specialized skate shops, right? So there was bike shops carrying skateboards, and that was really common, really common. Those were the ones that I think would fork out the dollars to bring, riders out and do demos and pay us to do them. And that was what I was doing a lot, that and just trying to skate as much as possible, more so than document anything. We did wheels and streets over the course of about 3 years, maybe. We didn't start working on wheels until late 86, 87, I think it was 87. At the time that we documented those videos, you didn't do anything that you didn't know how to do every single time, because it was film. Scott Dietrich, who did Wheels of Fire and Streets on Fire, was using 16mm film. It was expensive. And you could almost feel his freaking tension if you didn't land a trick first try or a line first try. It's like, damn, that's money. That's film and production costs. Like, shit. Hence the freaking tricks that I did in the videos that I did.
Yeah.
You're like, better not have taken more tries on those.
When I'm not skating, I like to sit in my room, listen to a lot of loud music, play my drums or guitar or whatever.
The music that I was listening to at the time was 1986, was still punk rock. But it was right when punk rock was kind of making this transition, a little metal, right? So you had this crossover thing of Cro-Mags, I believe, 86. I could be off a little bit on that. Crumbsuckers, I started getting into metal. I mean, I was listening to Metallica. I got a Metallica tape from Tom Grholski. It was a cassette. I never owned any albums until later when I actually had money to buy albums. I always had those tapes, right? But he gave me a tape that was Metallica Kill 'Em All on one side, and then the other side was the first Toy Dolls album. A weird combo. Total weird combo. I don't know if you know the Toy Dolls. It's like it's a vocal that has to grow on you. Great music, but vocals are out there. You know what inspires me about where Santa Cruz is at? We've done a great job of taking care and respecting the past and working those graphics into the line, into new graphics in the line, inspiring new graphics, but it doesn't look old, it doesn't look repetitive. Because the brand's been around for almost 50 years. It'll be 50 years in 2023, and we do have fans that are in their 60s. And we do have fans that are in their single digits, right? And we try and represent that with the team that we have.
My name's Steve Alba.
From Salba and Dressen.
To E-Man, to Jake, and everyone in between, and going even further to, like, Zion, and I think we did a great job of spanning multiple generations. Graphically, I think they've done a great job of modernizing it, but still keeping true to the icons and graphics that Phillips had created in the 70s and 80s. I'm blown away by the fact that we still sell the decks that, I had back in the 80s. It just blows me away that, 30 plus years later, we're doing that still. I hope we can do this with all of our riders throughout history.
Thanks for checking out this video. Click subscribe to see all the squad, the SC squad, guys and girls, everybody on this channel. Click it right here or right there, or wherever Joey P puts it, wherever it's at.